Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and what a time to be in the markets. Huge fireworks today. Just this morning, I published a video on YouTube warning that there might be some pretty wild price action today. And I didn't say that because I'm some sort of omniscient being. I can't see into the future. It's because Fed Chair Jerome Powell was set this morning at 9 a.m. Central Time, which is my time zone. That's why I use that. He was set to deliver a speech, and there was expectations that he'd hint at what the Fed was going to do on the next FOMC day in regard to the federal funds rate. And yes, he did. And yes, the market responded, and now we are substantially wealthier. So I'm going to share with you an update, but my God, everything reacted. Like, I'm telling you, this is the reason you should be excited. It's not just because, yes, our net worth is higher because of today's price action. It's because of what this signals. Everything, like, just key levels being broken. Everything, including in traditional finance, all the stuff that you need to happen in order to have a proper alt season, it's unfolding today. And this news is the thing that triggered it, unquestionably. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it's 5:26 p.m. Central Time, Friday, August 22nd, 2025. XRP is $3.07. Bitcoin is up to 116,313 bucks. And look at that 24-hour chart. So here you can see 9 a.m. rolls around. That's Central Time, again, my time zone, and whoop, rocket ship time. Look at that. We had a 24-hour low this morning as markets were freaking out a bit, getting some jitters before the Powell speech. XRP was as low as $2.78, 24-hour high of $3.09. That's a fairly large swing. That swing in half of a day is more than what XRP has been worth for most of the time that I've held it. So that's something that jumps out at me. Here's Bitcoin. A similar story you can see at the same moment. Bitcoin also started jumping. 24-hour low of $111,825. 24-hour high of $117,000, a little higher than that. And so nobody knew for sure what was going to happen. So I acknowledged in my last video, like, I don't know if this is going to be a really bloody day in the markets or if we're going to be going to party town. But I said that, there's going to be potential anyway, an explosion one way or another. I knew that there was a fairly high probability of that. And there's just no way to know what that guy was going to say, Jerome Powell. But we got the news that we hoped for and wanted, and man, this set things off. And so here's the headline from Cointelegraph. Bitcoin price charges to $116,000 as Fed's Powell hints at interest rate cut. And that's what the market wanted. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView followed volatile Bitcoin price action as Fed Chair Jerome Powell delivered a policy speech. Powell took to the stage at the annual Jackson Hole Economic Symposium, traditionally an opportunity to hint at upcoming policy moves. The current situation with inflation in the labor market, he said, may warrant adjusting the Fed's monetary policy stance. Markets immediately reacted with crypto and risk assets jumping, while U.S. dollar strength tumbled. And by the way, this is I'm telling you, XRP is going to be one of the greatest beneficiaries of this. Wait till I show you. Just hang on in this video. If you got time, listen to the whole thing, because I'm telling you, I have I post from a lot of XRP chart analysts, including one of the best in the space, who is basically arguing that XRP is the best prime coin in the space that there is, and it's about to go. Here's a post from the blockchain backer after the speech. He said, Powell delivering the goods. Maintain it throughout the rest of the day for the weekly close. And he shared an image of the Dow Jones Industrial Average breaking above a key resistance level there. And so I reposted that. And this is 14 minutes after the speech I wrote, or after it started anyway. It went on, I can't remember how long it went, 20, 30 minutes, whatever it was. Anyway, so I wrote, thanks Fed Chair Powell for dramatically increasing my net worth in a span of mere minutes by simply saying words out of your face hole. And folks, I write that to illustrate the absurdity of the power that this one guy has. Like, people around the world, we're all sitting, we're on pins and needles. What will come out of the face hole of this human to either destroy or increase net worth substantially? Why do we have a system like this? This is so stupid. But anyway, that's what it is. Kind of grinds my gears a little bit, getting ground up. But here we are. Here's another post from the blockchain backer. This is the Russell 2000. He said, Russell 2000 exceeds last week's prices. Look at the rocket ship. That's small cap stocks. That shows comfort in engaging in the purchase of riskier assets, which is what smaller caps, and it's true for smaller coins too. Smaller cap coins obviously more risky. Then there was this from Squawk on the Street, CNBC. Fundstrat's Tom Lee. Dovish Fed is a green light for equities, small caps. And so without getting into the specifics of what he said, though interesting, maybe I'll talk about that in a separate video. Yeah, I mean, I think he's got a pretty good accuracy rate, honestly. And he thinks that this is going to be big pretty much for everything. If you've got a risk on assets, stocks, crypto, get ready for Moontown. Here's a post from Nijin Tropic. This is the co-founders of Glassnode, the on-chain analytics firm that run this account. They wrote, "We are about to get the best weekend in a very long time. Altseason is around the corner." And that was just at 2:59 p.m. Central, so well after the Powell speech, and they know what's coming next. And let me note here, the Dow Jones was up today 1.89%, hit a new all-time high. The S&P 500 up 1.52% today, hit a new all-time high. The NDX, NASDAQ, that's the NASDAQ 100, NDX is the ticker symbol, up 1.54%, hit a new all-time high today. Russell 2000 up 3.86%, the biggest gainer out of those four, up 3.86%. That's a monstrous day for the Russell 2000. That's not a new all-time high, but directionally it's going exactly where we want it to. That's bigger news to me than the rest, frankly. Just to see market participants based on this news feeling very comfortable going further out the risk curve, that is what you want to see. That's also why crypto responded even more impressively. Here's a post from Lark Davis. Just in, $250 million worth of shorts liquidated in the past 4 hours. And mind you, that was at 10:27 a.m. So I bet the final number is larger. I didn't bother to look it up, but I just saw that. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, this is why you should not play with leverage. Duh. Then we got this. Here's some more monstrous news, speaking of all-time highs. From Cointelegraph, Ethereum hits new all-time high above $4,870 as Fed turns dovish. Ether ETF inflows resume. And so as I'm recording this, Ethereum is at 4,807, but it did hit a new all-time high. It's up almost 13% as I record this. New all-time high. Well, this is live CoinWatch. It was above this depending on what exchange you're looking at. They're citing it as 4,864. But we got, now that matters even if you don't hold ETH and maybe you're just way more excited about the rest of your alts, including XRP. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'm in the same boat. I mean, I hold Ethereum. I've been holding it since 2017. It's the first cryptocurrency I ever bought, actually. But this bodes well for Altseason, my friends. It definitely does. Because Ethereum typically kicks off Altseason, historically anyway. When it starts going, get ready. Get ready. And everything's lining up time-wise like you would expect it to, based on historic precedent. Isn't it funny how history just keeps rhyming with itself? Everybody's freaking out along the way. But if you compare many of the things that are happening now with last cycle and the cycle before that, it's very samey. Yet people freak out with every little thing that happens. Here's an Ethereum USD chart from Chart Analyst Mustache. This is 7 minutes after the Powell speech started. He wrote, "What a reaction from Ethereum. Looks like it will repeat 2022, only in reverse." So 2022, obviously, FTX collapse, bad year. So he says the opposite of that, basically. Says you can imagine what that means for altcoins. Exactly. And that's why I'm highlighting this in this video. It is of the utmost importance that this happened for Ethereum based on historic precedent. And we're getting it. We got a new freaking all-time high from Ethereum. It hasn't been this high since late 2021. But this is a really big deal, guys. Here's a post from Crypto Wizard. Ethereum just made a new all-time high after 4 years. The most hated rally is upon us. Well, I'd say that's XRP, but yeah. It's true. 4 years, and here we are. Ethereum new all-time high. We knew it was coming. I mean, I did. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Credible Crypto. And this is from 1:30 p.m., well after the Powell speech ended. And he said, "There are very few charts that are as primed as XRP on the higher time frame. It's quiet now, but everyone will be talking about XRP soon." So he's not changed his stance. He firmly believes that XRP will be hitting, he thinks the peak will be between $20 to $30. He is not wavering on that. I hope he's right. I don't make price predictions myself, so I don't know if that's going to happen or if it'll be a little lower, a little higher. I'm not in that game. I'm just with the rest of you guys in believing that what is most probable is way higher than where we are now. Here's a post from chart analyst Galaxy, and this is at 9:39 a.m., so after the Powell speech started. It said XRP above $3 again. Time to continue price discovery is approaching. So obvious signs of optimism here. Here's a post from chart analyst Crypto V. And this is at 9:41 a.m. Central, after the Powell speech started. It said XRP, nothing has changed. $8 to $10 has been the target since 50 cents. So again, another analyst not wavering, delivering the message, yes, double-digit price action likely to come. Here's a post from Steph is Crypto just this afternoon, 2:48 p.m. Central. XRP to $5 is imminent. Unwavering confidence. There's no need to belabor the point of these. I'm going to try and fly through some of these just to get this done. But you get the idea here. Like this is going to be way bigger than people understand at this point. Like when we look back on this when the cycle is over, it will be. I mean, everybody like, oh yeah, of course. I mean, crypto does that. But right now, I know you get it. You listening to this get it. I don't think most people in the retail space speculating here understand what's about to happen with XRP, but they're going to learn. Many people are going to learn the hard way. Here's a post from August 17th, right? So 5 days ago. But I'm sharing this because this chart analyst CW, reposted it after the market started pumping, which obviously indicates this is still what you should expect. And there's an upper price target here of $21.50. This market cycle, folks. And so on the 17th, he wrote, XRP is expected to break above its all-time high line soon. Once it breaks above that line, there will be no further resistance. This means an explosive upward movement will begin. We will see soon. We will soon see. Well, same concept. A real rally in XRP. So still on the table. It's already moving the right way. Of course, XRP is moving the way that the rest of the risk-on assets are moving. It's what you would want and expect based on news like this. This is a big deal. I mean, so the market views it as a virtual certainty. We're getting a rate cut and then probably multiple rate cuts. That's what the market is clearly pricing in here. And that's why the demand increased substantially. It's based on this news. Here's a post from chart analyst Leb Crypto. And this is from 12:29 a.m. So this is before the Powell speech. But he wrote, even if, and he's talking about XRP here, he says, even if it dips, a fake out, below the yellow triangle for a few days, so that would be perhaps into the lower 270s even. He says, if it breaks below the yellow triangle for a few days, which is likely in my opinion, XRP is still coiling and building price action inertia for the next leg up in late Q3 or early Q4. The target is $4.50, and so that would be in the short term anyway. So he thought it was likely there would be a breakdown, but that was based on what he saw to be perhaps more probable in the charts before Powell came out, said things with his face hole, and then changed the entire equation. So now that it's moving to the upside, $4.50 as a starter point doesn't sound too bad to me, folks. Does not sound too bad to me at all. It's a great time to be in crypto. If you're not rich yet, then if you're not by the end of this cycle, either you didn't put in enough money, or I don't know, you did one of the typical things that people do, chasing green candles, panic selling, FOMOing in at top, stuff like that. Or you're brand new. Honestly, it's going to be harder to get truly life-changing wealth if you're jumping in now. But that's not to say you can't get something substantially meaningful. I mean, the multiple that you can get on coins, even from these price levels, can be substantial. You're still going to get your... so it'd be easier for most coins to get closer to a 5x. But there will be those out there that get 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever. That type of stuff is out there. It's just, I think a lot of the bigger returns, especially at this point, since we're this late stage in the cycle, a lot of the higher multiple returns from here, they're going to be too far out the risk curve for it to be reasonable. There's too many coins out there. You're not going to know for sure what's going to do what. I don't think every coin's going to hit a new all-time high. That's why I've been in the mindset it always makes sense. Ever since I jumped into crypto in 2017, stick primarily to large caps, maybe some mid caps, and if you really need to get some excitement, some of the small caps, fine. And then you just hold for a really long time, whatever that means, whatever it takes, because you don't decide when the market goes or to what degree. But the point is just have broad exposure, have exposure for however long it takes, so a really long time. It's certainly been a long time for me. It's funny. What do we consider a long time? Well, yeah, I've been in crypto almost 8 years, never cashed out to USD. That's a long time in crypto, but that is nothing in traditional finance. Like the degree to which my crypto has appreciated in less than 8 years, it would have taken me, I think, 35 to 40 years in traditional finance, and that's before we have the blow off top. So by the time I sell this thing, it could be like more like 60, 70, 80 years to accumulate what I'll ultimately likely accumulate by the time we get close to 8 years for me in crypto. And so that's the type of real stuff that can happen for regular people. And I don't have anything to sell you. I'm just telling you it's a real thing because there's not much money in the asset class. So it just doesn't take that much money flowing in to get a crazy multiplier effect. That's the truth of the matter. And that's what I find so just awe-inspiring, frankly. Like regular people, I'm just a regular dude, nothing special about me. Regular people like me and you, yes, this isn't some sort of pipe dream. It's real. I'm living through it. I've been living through it. It's like winning the lottery in slow motion. I've been living through it myself almost 8 years. And all of you, if you're wondering if you can do it, yes, you got to understand that you are your own worst enemy when it comes to investing. So don't make the stupid mistakes that the typical lemming retail speculators make. But if you're really wondering, is it too good to be true that the good stuff never happens to me? Shut up. Stop being negative. Yes, the good stuff can and will happen to you. It's just up to you to make sure that it does. So you have to position yourself and, again, not make the stupid decisions. But yes, this is real. There's no... crypto on the whole is not a scam. If people are skeptical, and that's a fine starting point, that's reasonable when they start hearing about crypto, because how can you get these returns? Because there's almost no money in it, and it's a brand new asset class. We haven't had a brand new asset class in hundreds of years. And yes, it's life-changing to this degree. Absolutely it is. This is bigger than the internet in terms of returns. So that's it in a nutshell. But what a day to be in crypto, folks. The best is yet ahead. We are not done. I'm telling you, folks, when we start seeing the alarm bells, I will tell you, when we're seeing top signals pop up, I'm going to be screaming about it on this channel. None of them have triggered. Absolutely, literally, none of them have triggered. The best is yet ahead. But there's not that much time left in this market cycle. The good news is the biggest gains come in roughly the last 10% of the market cycle. So yeah, the best is yet ahead. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.